I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious. I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
Yeah. What up? It's a good word.
What up?
Good to see everybody.
You sound like you in the echo chamber.
Is it? It's not crisp. It's not crisp.
In the echo chamber. You echoing.
Oh nah. Do I got to refresh? Is it like a reverb or echo? Is it like boing yoing or is it like
Like a boy yoing. More boy yoing than if that's a
okay,
thing.
all right. Hold on, let me refresh.
You adjust my height. You can get on the same eye level. Refresh that thing. Come on back.
Just come on back. Welcome into come on into the
Here we go.
It's clear. It's crystal. All right.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's better.
Okay.
It's still, I don't know. I feel like you got something up that's not normally up.
Oh, you know what? I know what it is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I didn't change the thing from the changes.
Oh, you might gotta flip that other switch.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. You got a little, like you in the basement ain't got no furniture in it. You know, in the basement ain't got no furniture in it.
All right, What about now? Different? Same?
Same-ish.
Yeah.
This is
troubleshooting.
It's a little behind the scenes. Troubleshooting. Don't worry about it, guys. We'll get to it.
It's a live show. Don't trip. It literally. All right. Well, somebody said it sounds good.
Okay, good. Well, it sounds good today, and then we're good.
Then that's where it is. Go to the program. All fun and games. It was Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Shout out to everybody watching on the West Coast. Hilarious commentary, trending topics, celebrity guests, and interesting people. Let's get right to it, man. All the pomp and circumstances, man. You know. The title of this particular episode is "Why Are Black Women So Lazy?"
Oh, boy.
Yes. And look, and the numbers are going up, right?
Oh, isn't that
as
sad?
we speak?
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
All right, so I'm gonna just get to what the people want to hear about. They want to hear about Chris Rock, man. People have been asking my opinion on. Did you watch it?
I watched it live.
Okay, I did not.
Okay, I was looking forward to it. I don't think that you were, so might have had two different.
Well, I was looking forward to it, but then I was out, and then when you're out, you don't look forward to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those that I was gonna not be out for.
Yeah,
it wasn't that. Not for.
It wasn't a stay home. What do they call that? Musty. What do they call it? Stay home. Musty. Stay home.
Yeah.
Television, something like that. Nah. Appointment television. That's it. Appointment television. It wasn't appointment television.
Nah, it wasn't. Not for me anyway. A sidebar, quick tangent. Did you see Travis Kelce on Saturday Night Live?
I did.
How was that? That's really more intriguing to me.
Good.
Yeah.
He was good. You didn't watch it?
I didn't at all. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, maybe I'll see some clips this week on my timeline. Nothing. Yeah. I didn't see nothing.
He did good. I don't know. Maybe it's because he did well and was like, oh, it was a non-story story.
Was it good material written for him?
I feel like it was.
Right.
You know, again, extremely low expectations. But because I mean, but I think there is something to be said about not all athletes, but there are certain athletes that they have that acumen that can go on there and they get good writing.
Yeah. And
they're also willing to do whatever for the most part to be funny.
Take direction and all that.
Take when Peyton Manning had a couple of SNLs. He was good.
But he's funny.
Right. But
that
I'm saying,
family is
again, that's the other little known fact. Like, is this guy, he's low-key funny, but he's just known for this. But who would have thought?
because I didn't like that they won the Super Bowl, so I was like, fuck Travis Kelce. I don't even I didn't I didn't know he was that guy, that personality guy. You know what I'm saying? Who knew?
No, he was good.
They said he had a reality show. I don't remember any of that.
And also, clearly, I was home all Saturday.
Yeah. You saw did you see Marlon Wayans? You saw everything that came on.
No, I didn't. I missed Marlon Wayans. His special came out last week.
Yeah. It did.
Okay.
We'll get to that too. So all right, Chris Rock. People that night, people were texting me like, what did you think about that? And what did you so I was already disgusted.
Oh, okay.
Because society, we're in an a la carte society, and convenience has changed the way we do things, and I don't like it. And so now even the way you consume a comedy special is in an a la carte, joke by joke fashion, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So people hit me. I was just ignoring everybody. But let me preface a few things before I go into why and what and how and all that. I've never Chris Rock is good, one of the greats even, but I've never been, when I name 5, he's not in that 5 to me. So he's not, I've never been a Chris Rock super fan.
Okay.
His acting sucks, except for in Fargo.
Listen, the only justification I really feel like Will Smith should have had for Chris Rock is if he saw Spiral right before the Oscars. Because I was looking for Chris Rock. I paid for that. And I was looking for Chris Rock after I watched that damn Spiral movie. That was
he doesn't exude confidence even when he's in character, and he's looking around to see who's watching him. And I had somebody explain recently, and hopefully
pretty good at Fargo though. If you didn't watch Fargo, you see
Fargo's excellent. He's miles ahead of whatever he was before you saw Fargo.
Yeah,
he's a trillion. He took 1 trillion training classes, and he's believable and convincing. But beyond that,
explain that damn Spiral. But go ahead.
I don't even know what that movie is.
I don't get it. But go ahead.
So I've never been, rocker, Chris Rocker. So there's that. But also I'm a student of the craft, and I'm a culture critic and all of that. I think I watched on Twitter everybody for like 5 days. This 50%, I think it was about 50%. It was those who did and those who didn't. So when I watched it, I was like, wow, y'all really are mad at nothing. Yeah. It was a nothing burger. It was the show itself was a funny TED Talk. And it wasn't a great special. It wasn't even his greatest, but it definitely was not bad. And it definitely was funny. Yeah. So I really took whatever, however you say that phrase, I really felt away.
Umbrage. You took umbrage.
I took umbrage or something with people that was like, it just wasn't funny and it was problematic. And the joke he did about, and then the other joke he did about, like, can you imagine breaking apart Eddie Murphy Raw joke by joke? Could
then or now? Because then you couldn't get past the first 30 seconds. No, now you can't get past the first 30 seconds.
No, yeah. But even still, and I don't agree with the whole thing about, well, we as a society have changed, so you should nah. Him talking about half.
Yes.
I mean, the women's equity movement alone wouldn't even allow that bit to fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you think about what comedy is, from a science and a art and a craft, it's hyperbole, it's exaggeration, but it's also
it's the word we're looking for is satire.
It's satire. It's POV. Like, people were talking about, well, he should have did this. He should have did this. No, he was doing the material that when it's said, it triggers a laugh. That's it.
Right.
Like, since when? And I hate that it's this way. Since when do we have to be so heady to explain somebody else's POV in a humorous context?
You know why? Because we're in a world of, and even if it's black folk, I still blame Trump. Because it's like everybody's opinion about everything has a spot, and they all feel they need to be heard. You know what I mean? Like, if you
Twitter effect, that ain't Trump. That's the Twitter effect. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, he just magnified.
I saw the best post ever I have ever seen this past week.
Okay.
Out of the 40,000 tweets I've tweeted, out of the million tweets I've read, this was the best tweet. I wish I can. I don't know what I did with it. It is the best tweet I have ever read. It said, "Remember back in school, you had honors class, you had regular class, then you had the class down the hall for the slow people."
Yeah,
it was like Twitter is all of those put together. We're not supposed to all be in the same room. We're not supposed to all be in the same room.
Right, yeah, like track 1 shouldn't be in there with track 4.
No.
Yeah.
And in context with this, everybody's opinion shouldn't matter.
You got the APs in there with the remedials.
Yeah, nah, it's not. Hey, fam, only take 2 classes. I'm getting college credit right here. My man is learning his ABCs. We should not be in the same room.
Right.
And it's like social media is that. Twitter is that. So with regards to the special, wasn't his greatest, but it wasn't bad. But to say it wasn't funny, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. And it's really the Chappelle effect, because Chappelle, after being away for, what was it, like 16 years, 15 years or whatever, when he came back, his material had grown up. His style was slightly adjusted. It was still him, but what he's going in on and the position he's taking sounds more like conversation than jokes. Yeah. So what do you do in conversation? What do you think? You think you can counter and challenge,
right,
and talk back? It's just because it sounds like it's a dialogue, but no, it's not. It's not. It's crafty. It's a crafty monologue,
right? So
you get the culture changing, but then here you have this person who's challenging the changes in culture. Now you have a problem with it because talking about people with club feet or short arms because your cousin got a club foot. That's you took that personal. On Twitter, you can speak back. You see what I'm saying? Like,
and you can not only speak back, but there's a small microscopic chance that Chris Rock might hear what you said.
Yeah. And you're hoping that,
or whoever you're criticizing might actually hear what you said.
Yeah, you're hoping.
And that's the one tweet that they go, damn, these people don't like me. You know what I'm saying? They did, and that's the one that they might accidentally respond to, and then now you got them.
But then you take it personal because your cousin got a short arm, and now guess what? You found community because 10 other people came on. My cousin got a short arm too. That's right. He shouldn't talk about people with short arms. No, that's not. That's not how it come. George Carlin, right? And so so I'm gonna move forward. I think it was a funny TED talk. It didn't even feel like a comedy special. It was a funny TED talk.
You talking about Chris Rock?
Chris Selective Outrage. With perfect name, by the way. Perfect name.
Yeah,
because even before I watched it, I was literally
3 minutes after it was over, the Selective Outrage began.
Yeah.
Probably during. Maybe I take the back. Probably during.
And there's some people who don't even understand what that means. And it's the fact that we live in a society where people get to pick and choose who and what we're mad at.
Right.
So I don't believe you when you're mad at certain things, but not this thing, only because you don't like this person. So George Carlin, his last few projects that you, even to this day, they get sent around that you were even aware of, 7 banned words, 7 words that are banned off of, blah, blah, blah. Those are TED Talks. Those aren't gut busting comedy sets. You know what I'm saying? But he gets the credit for articulating a very intricate and layered approach to something that we're all familiar with. That's what he was doing. That's all Selective Outrage was. Like, and it had funny moments. Like, people really have a problem with it. Like like it shouldn't have been done, or like he shouldn't have said what he's. I'm like, how? What are y'all on?
But see, I feel like this is unfortunately be a comedian of note, right? And when people already have you in a mixed bag as far as how they feel about you, that's all you're going to be subject to.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No matter what. Like yeah.
Yeah, that's all you're going to be subject to, because like take Netflix is full of comedy specials at this point. It's full of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Some really bad ones too.
Really, it's so bad that I wouldn't even watch. I mean, the preview, and I'm like, nah, I can't. You know what I mean? But no one's talking about them because either these people are under the radar, middle of the road, whatever the case is, but no one has an issue or takes issue with them because they might be fleeting. That might have been their one shot, and then so be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's my man's name? I can't remember the full special, but I feel like Bill Burr,
tough.
You know, he's tough, but I feel like he caused some action for, I can't remember a couple of things that he might have said in his special. When he was going on about white women. No, he went on about white women.
Yeah.
Right?
He's
he
very
caught action for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he did that on Saturday Night Live. He did that on Saturday Night Live.
Right. Yeah. But I think he doubled down in his special though.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, so those that can't understand what he's saying and what he's trying to do and the point he's trying to make, they go to Twitter and the posts and the responses and so forth. But it's a sad state of affairs. You got to really have some solid stones and confidence and a hard, stiff backbone to be a famous comedian or any kind of comedian these days. Because like,
and I'm gonna tell you, Chris don't have that confidence. I'm gonna tell you, watch his body language. I mean, he's working through it while he's working through it. Like that past trauma, that low self-esteem and all that's real. That has never left him. And you can tell when he's doing his comedy. I mean, from his first special to his last, he's checking. Are you laughing? Like that's his style. And another point that I wanted to point out was, he's been hanging with Dave for the last few years. Right. And it really has rubbed off because that first half, his voice, his cadence, his delivery, it was, to me, it was all Dave. It was all Dave. And I was like, this don't even seem like Chris Rock to me. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it was live, I think that's groundbreaking. That was brave.
Because that hasn't been done since like the HBO days, right? Like
not that I can remember. Not like that.
Marlon did it.
Okay.
Marlon definitely did it.
Yeah.
I can't think of who else might have done it though, to be honest with you.
But
I think that happened though back in the day.
No, it definitely happened. But streaming, because streaming is so different than broadcast.
Right.
Is it was a big deal, and I thought that was brave and bold. But people were talking about, well, he shouldn't have. Who's not doing that for 40 million?
Right.
Who's not gonna wait to tell their side of the story a year later for 40 million?
Yeah.
That's just
what do you think about? So last week we discussed one of the jokes being leaked though. What do you feel about him still using it and not throwing an audible just for that, at least that one joke?
Well, I mean, that's a way I would have wanted it, but I don't know. But here's something I thought was weird. And this is, I gotta see if anybody else caught this, because I don't know. But that joke that leaked,
he messed it up.
Well,
that's the lead into it.
He messed up the concussion emancipation.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did that when you saw it, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was live. He messed it up.
We heard the clip before, right?
Heard what clip?
Wasn't there an audio clip before?
I don't know. I didn't. I saw a quote, like little quotes of the joke, and I don't think it was said in the same exact fashion as the quote.
Okay.
But I didn't hear any clips because I didn't want to get the special ruined from you.
Well, let me give you this. I watched the replay. The replay, there's no mess up.
Well, okay.
Is anybody watching this?
The only way that would make sense to me is that it was so quick they could have edited it. No, I'm saying, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you.
He ran it back.
No, I'm gonna tell you my theory.
What?
AI. I think they use software on the replay
to wipe it.
Yeah, the AI software where you can manipulate the audio.
Oh yeah.
He said I was waiting to hear the flub.
The flub.
Because I had heard the flub. I wanted to see what it looked like when he flubbed.
I absolutely believe they edited that. Yeah. As it possible.
No, but he's on screen. He said up in the replay, because I watched it what's today? Friday? I watched it Wednesday night. He said, Jada's mad at me because her man was nominated for concussion and gave me the concussion. And the camera didn't go away or nothing. And I sat up and I was like,
now I'm just trying to remember if he ran it back. Like he flubbed it, but then ran it back from the start of the sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like he didn't go concussion and keep talking. Live, he said because
I remember he acknowledged that he messed up.
Yes.
He said,
then he ran it back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what happened.
I was sitting there and I was like, I'm looking around. I'm like,
no, I feel like he ran it back and then they just cut off that 10 seconds right before he ran it back type of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Kelly, you playing. I think they use that Chat GPT for that. I really do. What's the audio joint with it change your voice, make it sound like people?
Could be.
Oh, Deborah said she recognized the same thing. Yeah, I don't. Oh, and then Nola said he watched it yesterday and heard the flub. Wait a minute. What is going on?
What was it called? Selective what?
Selective outrage.
Selective listening, selective viewing.
Yeah.
Some people got different joints.
Hey, man. I don't know. But beyond that, it was I thought it was decent. It was a couple joints I was gave me one of those.
Yeah. I felt the same way.
Most of it was like
Yeah. I thought it was entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I don't think it obviously.
I thought it was Chris Rock.
Yeah, it was. That's the same thing. I was texting my brother and I was like, "Yo,
like, what were y'all expecting?"
I was like, but it was like I was probably the most Chris Rock.
It's Chris Rock that he's been in a minute.
In a while.
Yeah.
Like the pacing.
Yeah.
You know, the cadence, the real, like you said, checking the crowd. Like
I think it wasn't as rehearsed as it could have been, and because I know what it takes to get a strong set, and I don't think he spent the time that it takes.
You don't think so? He was out for
no.
He was out for like a year.
He was, but listen to this though. I know some people that have saw him multiple times within the last year, and they told me that the material he did on this special was not what they saw when they saw him live this year.
Okay.
So now, granted, you could have 3 hours in the can. But at the same time, if you can tell the difference between somebody that has polished that act and it's just hit, as opposed to him, slow talking it and making sure he don't mess up and say it twice and then throw the punchline on you. You see what I'm saying? He was very deliberate and took a lot of time. And I was like, oh, he hasn't rehearsed this a lot. This has not been, it hasn't been rehearsed this a lot. And a lot of these, either new jokes or in a new order.
Do you think that's even more, I don't want to say ballsy, but like to do it live and not to have it fully polished? Like
super ballsy. You know
what I mean?
But that's that deadline for the money.
Yeah.
You're working towards the deadline.
For
the money. They're like, yo, we doing it. We doing the joint in March. What's up? You know what I'm saying? We ready? You gonna be ready? Hell, shit, I'm gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be ready.
That's a pretty good Chris. Rock.
I've been working on a little bit.
Hey, that's not bad.
But Stacey Washington says, what are your thoughts on the joke about dating women in their 20s versus 50s? That was easy writing, well-written Chris Rock material. I mean, this? That's Chris Rock. I mean,
women in their 20s. Women in their 20s.
Yeah, that's
it. Women in their
20s. Women be 20s. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just the uproar was absolutely ridiculous to me. There's so many out of all the things that we really could have an issue with, and all the things that and all the people. I was like, this didn't warrant that. This didn't warrant that. And then I got a chance to talk to a gentleman I'm trying to get him on tonight. Brian Bailey, who's been on here before, mental health clinician in the Baltimore area. Oh, he said he might be on the show because he gave me a perspective that I did not see. That I did not even. He went the mental health route. And the way he laid it out, he gave me a perspective that I had not before even thought about, because I don't look at things through that lens. Like I don't even think. I was like, yeah, Chris Rock, he's probably still not over being slapped, but hey, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? And Dr. Bailey, is he kind of gave a perspective of like, we're looking at a trauma victim in real time dealing with trauma. And
throw the link in the chat.
Yeah, he right there? Oh no, it's Dr. Clark. Okay, yeah. Oh, he said he took it that way too. Hold on. That's interesting.
So why he's coming in? What did you think about the last, 8 minutes or so? Overall.
I thought he was gonna start with that.
I
thought he was gonna start with that. Hold on. Here you go, Dr. Clark. It's in the chat. Jump on in. If anybody else want to jump on too. So yeah, I didn't see it that way. I was like, oh wow. I said, well, he is in a way that, you know, how many of us would take that and be able to keep going? You know what I'm saying? You're in that industry, you're in that career.
And in that moment,
you survive that, and then after that, you got to play like you good.
Yeah,
when you're really not.
Yeah.
All right.
It was interesting. So they had a pre-show, right, leading up to it, 30-minute pre-show, and JB Smoove was talking about how he went to one of the Oscar after parties, and he was like, he said, and Chris Rock showed up to the after party. You know, rolling solo, walked in there, and he said they caught eyes, and Chris walked over to him, man, and he like JB started to be like, "Yo, man, you," and Chris was like, "I'm good."
Yeah.
Let's just
and you have to do that 1,000,000 times.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But see, I can see how that could be painful, because what he can't do is go home. You got to show up to the after party.
Oh, right.
Or else the bully won.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The bully won that night. You know, not only did he get you in front of everybody, but you got so suckered
that
you had to go. You just went to the crib. Like, you know what? I don't want to see people. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to swallow that other pill and go, damn, I got to see everybody and deal with it twice, because if I don't, the new story is, you know, Chris Rock, you know, went home and went, you know, under the covers and didn't want to talk to nobody, see nobody. So
and then he said, you know, I'm not disrespecting Snoop, because the last thing I need is another rapper mad at me. He did that 3 times.
That was good.
That's clutch callback. Like that's finesse work right there. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that's where he's going to leave it. And even if he just did that, I'm
like,
you got y'all what y'all wanted, but you didn't get what you thought you was going to get.
Yeah, right.
That would have been clutch, because I was like, "Ooh, that's good."
All right, let me bring in Dr. Clarkson. What's the good word? Your audio.
Turn your mic on.
Oh, you haven't. Yeah, the red light too. Yeah,
the red district. What is he? What is he actually doing tonight?
What are you doing, sir? Where are
those birthday celebrations going? And
tailgating. Back up.
Okay.
What's up with you? Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Yeah.
All right. One more again. Back.
Come on back next time. Let's see. So, unless y'all got further opinion, y'all can jump on. The link is in the chat. We'd love to hear your viewpoint. But so I stayed up and I tried to back to back it. You know what I'm saying? I watched Marlon Wayans.
I didn't see that special. Was it on HBO or what was it on? Or
I found it. Yeah, I found it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I found it. And no good. No bueno. And this is what the point I was making on Karen Hunter's show. It's some people just ain't for some people. I like Marlon Wayans. I enjoy him. I love his comedic acting. his stand-ups do nothing for me.
Yeah,
The last two, I fell asleep. This third one, in the 24th minute, I was gone.
No. Well, it's good to watch before you go to bed. It's a sleeper.
I didn't want it to be though. I wanted to compare and contrast.
That's the joint when you had a day and your mind's still racing, and you know what? Let me just throw that Marlon Wayans on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Hey, listen. He's still getting the points. And he's still getting the clicks. He's getting the clicks. He's getting the credit. He's still getting the credit.
So did you see the septuplet movie that he did?
I didn't. That looked too busy for me. I couldn't.
It was very busy. And it was a la, it was in the vein of Nutty Professor.
Yeah. And I feel like I've seen Nutty Professor before.
But a character playing 7 people is amazing.
Yes.
It could have been great. It had the potential. It was not. It just,
well, the butt was kind of why.
Yeah.
It was not. Why wasn't it?
The reason I don't know. It just wasn't.
Okay.
And the scenes with, him being this person and then him being this person, they went on way too long. They went on way too long. Nutty Professor, him being other people in the same room, those scenes weren't as long as you think.
No, they weren't.
They weren't. You remember the 2 dinner table scenes, but they were pretty short in regards to the overall storyline of the movie,
and short and classic.
Yeah, right.
This
one, I was rooting for because I was like, oh, if he pulls this off, he moves into the category of one of the greats.
Yeah,
and I was watching it, and I couldn't finish that either. I couldn't finish the movie.
One that was okay.
I didn't finish the movie.
I want to say it was Netflix also, but it was like he was kind of having like a Groundhog's Day experience.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he's better when he's supporting in a supporting role. Like I saw a preview for this this movie that they're making about the origin of Jordans, Nike Jordans.
Oh yeah. And I saw.
I'm like, when he does that, it's like, oh yeah, good.
Serious. Yeah. And but the special and he did Will and Jada. He was telling like personal stories, like. His style this time was different. He's getting older too. His style was different. He had some nice wraparounds when like you come back to the beginning of the story and it explains everything. He had a good one of those with Will and Jada, and it was Italian. And I thought it was ballsy because they released it the same night that Chris was. I was like, was all this planned and all that? But I just couldn't finish it because his style, the physical stuff and all that, and that don't really don't do nothing for me. Shannon Jordan says she's watching on YouTube. I'm sorry, they are watching on YouTube because I don't know. Yes. Yeah, Marlon almost lost me at the 20-minute mark also, but after I hung in and realized what he was doing and the message, I liked it. But also, the beginning went off the rails and he took too much time. Okay, all right. So I just have to finish it.
So this time, note to anyone that's watching this special for the first time, start at the 22-minute mark.
At the 22-minute mark.
If it's a 60-minute special, maybe it should only be 30-some minutes.
Okay, Shannon says it's a she. Listen, we in this day and age we can't make those assumptions. I just because everyone has feelings. I don't know what you identify with because your avatar is just we don't know. All right, let's try Dr. Clarkson. Oh, here we go. Sound. All right.
Dr. Clarkson.
Oh, what's going on?
All right, good. Keep your eyes on the road. Be safe.
No, I'm definitely good. Got finished lecturing on a black family, and it's kind of interesting. What just happened when we're talking, what you guys are talking about on the show in regards to Chris.
So you said when you watched it, you saw it from a mental health perspective.
What it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro. It was like my spidey senses just went off all of a sudden. One right. So I'm watching it and I'm laughing. At the end of off, And then all of a sudden it was like, no, don't stop laughing. And immediately what I saw was somebody sorting through their trauma.
That's what Dr. Bailey said. Yep.
It's like you have already identified yourself as the ugliest person in the room, and you're kind of, and this is kind of the quirk that you have amongst the cool kids. You tell one joke too far, and in a moment that should have been absolutely beautiful and black, producer, Questlove is just one. This moment gets ruined. We're responsible for it, So now we got this grown drama of I'm divorced. I probably married better than I thought I was, and now I'm lonely and I'm sorting through dating, and I got smacked on national TV. The only way that I can fight back is by using my one quirk. So and also don't cry too hard. But overall, it was a sort
of... I have one challenge for what you just said, Dr. Clarkson. Did you really laugh and then laugh and then laugh? That sounded like you were laughing a lot. I don't think the special was that funny. Were you really laughing that often?
No. Yeah. I'm talking about, okay, so I'm saying at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chuckles and everything else. But at the end, which of course is what you paid, you really came to.
Yeah.
You came to see the movie, right?
So to that point, to that point specifically, I don't know, maybe I'm just a special case. I don't think he went as hard as he could have went.
Thing, right? Part of trauma is always, it's like a Stockholm effect of what you're connected to. You could really, but you don't because you love something so much still. Because even in that pen started writing jokes immediately, but he calmed himself down and was like, that's the material I really wanted. Yeah. I want the post material. I want a year later. I want the hit you right now material.
Right.
Like I said, kids and adults sort through family trauma all the time. One of she used to tell me that she walked around with a Hallmark. If she saw a really attractive man, she would give him a Father's Day card. And knew that was her father. Oof. And that was her. And I laughed, and then I was like, oh damn, that really you really sorted through, man. Chris was sorting through some shit. We watched the public opening for $40 million, so good for him.
Yeah, that's the part. I'm not like who wouldn't do that? Who's not going to do that? People want to throw shame and be like, and I appreciate you and be safe on your destination, Dr. Clarkson. Appreciate you for that. But yeah. Who wouldn't do that? Get out of here.
You know what he touched on that I almost forgot. Here's the one thing that I guess the last 8 minutes also did. It made you forget that he had a lot of good material before those last 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff, that dating stuff, the daughter stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that was really good. Like that's the stuff that, I mean, it's again, for me, just more relatable because, I've been divorced. I have kids. Like, the kids do weird stuff and blah, 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 and so and so. And then the turnaround, because like when they're small, they do whatever, and then they turn around, but now they're in college and they're thriving. And,
and then like the moment, like good. Be like, and she don't know this, and nobody knows this because I'm saying this for the first time on this live special. This is what I did, and this would happen, and I'm like,
yeah.
How can you not? Good. Yeah, how do you? That's art.
Yeah,
that's live art.
Was really good.
It's painting.
That stuff was really good.
And for you to, like I said, I'm not caping for him, but if you don't like him, then you just don't like him.
It won't matter.
It won't matter.
It won't matter. Yeah,
don't be like, oh, it was terrible, and it should never, and they shouldn't, and all that. I'm like,
this is how I feel. If you watch the Chris Rock special and he gave you 25 minutes of your favorite comedian, your actual favorite comedian's jokes, you'd still say Chris Rock was trash.
Oh, I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like my favorite comedian is, I don't know, Eddie Griffin or whoever. And he just did somebody else's bit for 25 minutes, verbatim and nuances exact. And you'd say Chris Rock was trash, not knowing that he just did somebody else's joke.
He kind of did that because that first half was all Dave Chappelle. But let's
same audience, same people don't like Chappelle.
All right, let's go to Rock Harper. What's good with your fams?
Hey, what's happening, Lamont? What's going on, bro? What's happening, fella?
Ain't too much. He got the studio.
He got his own mic. Okay.
Listen, man, I'm trying to get like y'all when I grow up, man.
Oh, yeah,
I'm trying to get some shows like y'all. Hey, listen, I think you on point, man. I told you on Twitter. I appreciate y'all doing this show. There's two things. One, I just thought about it when you said Dave. I didn't really hear Dave a lot. But now that you say it, I'm gonna go back and watch it. I love comedy. I respect like hands down. But Dave also did the joint. I think he was in DC where he said he found his son smoking papers. Remember that joke? And he said his son was writing all his poetry.
Yeah.
And he said he won't know until he watches this special. And so maybe Chris Rock also. So that gives a nod in the direction that he is following in the footsteps of Dave. But so I found it, I was involved in some of the conversations about the jokes. And Chris Rock, a lot of black women don't deal with Chris Rock. He's done some stuff that I haven't seen, but they say they don't mess with him. So I respect that.
Yeah.
But as far as comedy, I'm with you. So what I did was I said, let me go back and watch Tambourine because I really enjoyed that joint. Was I tripping? Yeah. Was I toxic back in 16 or whatever? Yeah. And it was a brilliant special to me. It was a different sort of Chris Rock.
Different.
And so I guess my question to you all is, and I didn't think about the mental health, like getting the dog shit smacked at you at work and then having to go back to work for the world to see. Most of us couldn't do that. Nope. Like we quit the job and we just run away.
Do something else.
Right. So the question I have is comics. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think that people talking about telling jokes, we've lost, or I don't know if we've ever had the idea to understand that what you all do is an art and is a science, and it takes you can give me all of those jokes and I could go up on stage and read them, and I'm not going to do it because it's just not what I do. I'm not going to be that good. It takes years and decades, but I'm just curious about people talking about the art form and the jokes he should have told and how he should have told it from non-comics. I'm just curious about how you all feel about that because to me, it seems as a chef, when people talk about running a restaurant, I'm just like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. So to me, it feels disrespectful, but I don't know how it lands with you all.
No. So, all right. So where are you based?
Virginia, Northern Virginia, right outside DC.
You a private chef or you have a place?
I got a restaurant. It's Queen Mother's in Arlington. So we sell fried chicken sandwiches.
Okay, Queen Mothers in Arlington, ladies and gentlemen. This portion of the program is brought to you by Queen Mothers.
Thank you, appreciate that.
With the tag is we sell chicken sandwiches, is what they sell. Chicken sandwiches. So when they come in, right, and they say, "Is this batter fried, or do you roll it batter, or is it flour?"
Flour.
Flour. Why? You should batter fry it because it's better for you.
Yeah.
No, it is. I read that it's better for you. My grandma.
You have 9 signature herbs and spices.
We got about 13 of them.
13.
Okay.
All you need is 4.
Salt, pepper, paprika.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe oregano, all that other stuff. Because black people got hypertension, so that's problematic. You don't need 13.
It is.
Because it's against
why you putting 13 spices?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we deal with hypertension, so that means that you willingly want to go against black people.
You just trying to take down your people. You trying to take down your own people.
Yeah,
we know we find chicken delicious.
Yeah.
You need to make some bland chicken.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it is. And you have to, with a smile, okay, well, we'll take that in consideration.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That'd be 11:35.
Yeah. As disgusting as it is, that's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. Everything
you
is
said oregano, and you should never fry oregano. So I was just like, okay, that's
yeah. No, you're supposed to tell me that. That's an opportunity to put me in my place. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pull you to the side. I'm gonna DM you that.
Yeah. No, but no, it's to me it's so, and I tried to use more articulate words on Karen's show, but it's gross. Mm-hmm. It's gross how we do that to comedy now, because everybody has an opinion, and Twitter has made everybody funny. Mm-hmm. Now, sure, you have a sense of humor. I can cook,
right?
But I don't identify as a chef.
Right.
I damn sure don't have my own restaurant.
Right.
I'm not going to come to you and scrutinize you every which way just because I do it my way. I'm either going to go to your shop or not.
But I'll say, but not only that, you came to me.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to come here.
Yeah.
You turned me on. I didn't, I appreciate it, but I didn't ask you to. Yeah. You came into my shop and ordered my sandwich. I didn't know you were coming today. And this is what I do. If you don't like what I do, hey man.
Seeds on your bun.
Right.
Seeds on your bun.
No seeds. No
seeds. It must be a GMO, because they said if it don't have seeds, it's a GMO. Come on, I came in there.
Right. You use chicken breasts or chicken thighs?
Yeah. So look, I'm working on breasts. But this is my.
But the chicken thigh is juicier, right?
Yeah. It is. It's true. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I could maybe consult with you all to help me write my first 5 minutes in college. Y'all just gave me like
absolutely. You absolutely.
Okay, all right.
It's for feed.
For the price of a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, for the price of 2 chicken sandwiches. Give you first 3 minutes.
And a side of fries and
because all you need is 3 minutes. You don't really need the 5. You just need a tight 3.
All right. That's what she said. That's what she said. Nothing. Hey.
Look, before you drop me off, okay. I wanted to. Speaking of the jokes, I wanted to the abortion joke. Mm-hmm. When he went to the I don't want to give it away if anybody didn't see it, but the punchline on the abortion joke I didn't see that one coming. I don't know if you saw that one coming. That was good.
I don't remember that one, but
I remember the segment. I don't remember the joke.
He talked about he was pro-choice, and he talked about the limit, and he said, "Listen, we talking about first trimester, third trimester," and he said, "I'm good with up to 4 years old."
Oh yeah.
The math. I thought that was great.
No, but look, it's tasteless, it's vulgar, it's profane, and it's wrong on so many levels. That does not mean it is not funny.
Right.
It's obviously a joke.
It's obvious. It does not mean it is not.
Right.
It's
that threw me off. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's the problem I have with it. With this whole where we are, is because I know that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? I don't have to prove to you that I'm an intellect because I pointed out that he shouldn't have said that. I know it's wrong, but the people don't even know the definition of a joke. The definition of joke is the revelation of a previously unknown fact. That's if you look at the Comedy Bible, it's a book by Judy Carter. That's the definition of a joke. Shakespeare, they talk about tragedy and comedy. It's previously the revelation of a previously unknown fact.
Wow.
So when we talk about, when you hear comics say, "Oh, genius," or "that was smart," or "that was so," that's what we're talking about, because you didn't see it coming,
right?
And it hit you in a place that either made you remember some shit, or it was shocking, or it tickled you, or like every That's not necessarily that's comedy, that's humor, but that's not a joke.
Right. Mm-hmm. I love it. Wow.
So it's a science, but I appreciate you. I ain't gonna diatribe you to death, but
listen,
mothers in Arlington, Virginia,
appreciate you.
The home of we do fried chicken sandwiches.
There it is. We got to get some sandwiches to y'all. Y'all come on out to the joint, or I have to send some to you one day.
Queen Mother, hey, put in the chat the handles and all of that.
I will. I appreciate you.
Yeah, the website is all of that.
Yeah, but
let people see it.
My man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad they great question.
I gotta look that up. Listen, I really find myself in Arlington, but when I do, I go to Queen Mother's Chicken.
Yeah, chicken. Hey, wait a minute. Helen says chicken and jokes. I would support that. Hey, we should go live from Queen Mother's one time.
I'm here for it. Listen,
hey,
all I need is an invitation and a parking spot.
Talk about it. And the park. That's over there. Yes. Let's see. Okay, Jay Lee says she's trying to golf. Okay, don't talk about it. Be about it.
That's right. You were soliciting.
Yeah, I was. So a couple weeks ago, I put out a little, feelers because I'm trying to put events together in Atlanta for Foolishness Friday Live, and I was like, I like to golf. So here's a little insight. I'm gonna tell people the events I put together is not about you. It's about me. It's things that I like.
Welcome to Lamont's favorite things.
Yeah.
Come with us, won't you?
When we did DC, I said, come meet us at the cigar bar where the go-go band is playing. And that's because that's where I be at.
Going. Right. That's where I be at.
So in Atlanta, I was like, if I go to Atlanta, I'm trying to golf. So I put it out there. I said, who, because everybody likes to talk shit about my golf videos that I post. I said, who trying to go? Like 4 people responded, and then 1 fell off. Then another fell off. And then like yesterday, somebody else was like, I ain't gonna be able to make it. So I was like, hey man, I'm still doing it. So I'm putting together a tournament. 1-man joint.
1-man tournament.
The Karen Hunter Show Foolishness Friday Live Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first annual
classic.
No. Wait. The first annual Karen Hunter Foolishness Fridays Invitational.
It's the because I invited y'all.
Y'all was invited, right? Y'all was invited.
Everybody went come. But people watching this right now, they think I'm joking. No, I called 3 places and got the promo package where they're trying to market to new members. Like I got, they're on standby right now. They hit me with the email yesterday. Mr. King, blah blah blah. We got the tea times. We got the discounted rate. Let me know how many. That was it. Because we,
Sugar loaf.
Nah, it was
That's the only one I know in Atlanta.
Oh, in Atlanta, I ain't heard.
So here's a joke. Well, in the Georgia, in that metro area.
Oh yeah.
But like, here's a joke. I went to it. Couldn't play golf worth a lick. This is like 12 years ago or whatever. Probably picked up Pair Club once before then, and we go and like it's a customer client thing, whatever. And like I come back and I tell somebody that actually plays. Yeah, it's like, I play golf. I sucked, whatever. It was whatever. I was like, where'd you go? I was like, I don't know, some sugar loaf. It was like sugar loaf. That's like the most one of these exclusive golf courses. Like I didn't see that one. Where they PGA, whatever. I was like, I didn't know.
Well, so, I went 1 public course, 1 semi-private, and then the other, I think it was a municipal, whatever. I was trying to get the prices on each tier and see what was, what I mean. I forgot the name of it, but they're in like a chain. There's a group of them. So I'll put that out there. If you follow me on social media, I'll put it out there. But Kelly is saying I shined on her. I don't know what shine on.
It was somebody in the chat. It might have been a lady that said
I think she might have been the only one that responded.
Okay. I think so. Yeah, maybe she was Kelly. Maybe she was in the chat saying,
we want to do the invitational, and she's the first annual, and she's at the classic, and she may win. You know what I'm saying?
Kelly, you got to qualify. What's your handicap?
Yeah, exactly.
Handicap in the chat. You got to qualify now.
So put your handicap in the chat. So we didn't ask Rock Harper about Master Chef. I forgot he was on there. Yeah.
Oh, he was? He was on Master Chef?
I guess.
Damn, I watched that.
Apparently. Cool dude though.
Okay.
So yeah.
Check him out. Mother's Chicken.
Queen Mother's Chicken.
Queen Mothers. Yeah,
bad,
Queen.
Different. You talking about the other show. I mean, the other
Mothers, yeah.
They do leg meat down at Mother's.
They do thigh meat. Yeah.
They do leg and thigh meat.
I like breast meat sandwiches.
And it ain't even really they chicken. They go to churches and they get all the stuff that's left at the end of the night.
Between churches and Royal Farms.
Yeah. Take that left and then they mince that up.
Yeah, mix that up. Gather them chicken skin sandwiches.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Lee Ricks, our West Coast contributor. He said, he's gifting 2 tickets to Peanut Gallery members if they don't have tickets. Oh.
Rock Harper was on Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen is my show. What season was it? Rock, what season were you on? I watch all of them.
That's the one you ain't see.
Must be.
Yeah.
He was like early. Like I might have missed the first season.
The first season, yeah.
But like I'm heavy on that.
All right, we're gonna have to wait a minute. Lee Ricks, so you bought tickets already and you giving them away?
He probably got to get on the road. At least stay on the road.
Yeah, I thought he might be driving in. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that though. Shoot me an email. We'll talk about that. That might be good for next week. Hey, Brian, I've been waiting for you to jump in, man. Before we leave, it's time to go. Brian, let me put it in the chat again. It's right here in the chat. Look at the link in the chat and then jump on. This is Brian Bailey, is a mental health clinician, professional. He said, we moved away from Chris Rock, but I wanted y'all to hear his perspective on what he thought he was watching when he saw it. All right, let's see. Oh, Lee said my vacation time calls me. Oh, damn. Had to cancel flights and everything. Oh, no, man. Get that credit. Get the credit, though. Oh, he said that's why he backed out of the golf. Oh, dang, they crushing you. What's going on out there?
Listen, the life of a trucker is not, you know what I'm saying? That's like being a surgeon, man. When you got the call, you got to go.
Yeah. Jay says, what tea time? I was looking at Saturday at noon. I was looking at Twilight.
Noon?
Yeah. Saturday noon.
So nobody go for no noon. You got to get that 8 a.m. tea time check.
Okay, so at the place I was looking at, the 8 a.m. tea time was about $90. I wasn't really trying to do all that. And the 12 tea time was like $27.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't in nobody's pocket, so I don't know what people was willing to spend or not. So that's how I did that. All right, let's bring in all right, we gotta get serious, folks. We gotta get serious.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring in Brian Bailey. Now, I called you Dr. Bailey. Is that correct? I just wanted to say that. I felt like that's what I should be. That's not
nah.
Okay. So we'll lay out your credentials first, because this is a finicky crowd, and then we'll go into it. Lay out your credentials first.
But I'm a mental health licensed clinician. That's provide mental health therapy in a wide range of arenas. Found consulting, where we build programs and need.
Okay,
that's a whole lot.
Yeah. No, but that's what I needed, because once
the brother.
Well, no, we're not doing all that right now. We're not doing this. This is official. So the reason why I did that is so that when people hear, they say, they say, oh, he's official.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's why I did that. Yeah. So you called me the other day and you was like, did you see it? And I was like, no. And you was like, man, you need to see it. I said, why? And then you laid out these points that offered a perspective that I didn't even think about. If you could briefly, because we're at the end of the show, kind of explain how your view of how you saw it as a mental health victim living out his trauma in real time in front of the world.
So I don't think there's a lot of partiality to it, brothers. I think that, it's hard from a comedic perspective, right? I mean, I won't deny anything that everybody said. He's a genius, does a beautiful job, but it was hard to see the joy in the midst, right? You could see the hurt, in his presentation. I mean, he wasn't laughing at his joke. Matter of fact, kind of a presenter, right? This is what I did. This is what I said. My daughter and my ex-wife will find out what I did on the show. People dropped the mic. He slammed the mic, right? As in to say, now, we got to remember, I think you had somebody on here earlier who spoke of trauma, right? Trauma, everybody's trauma, things that they go through, things that they deal with. And we can't determine getting over trauma. So one, he's been bullied all of his life. He's been bullied in his community, in his schools. Once you get to the level where he is as a star, I gotta say that he's probably in a place where he's thinking, I make millions and millions of getting bullied again. I'm throwing this in the face of the people who shoved me in the lockers as a child. I'm throwing my lunch tickets. I'll never be bullied again. And then boom, you're on the biggest stage in the bully in front of the world. That's traumatic, right? That's impactful severely. And you don't get over that scar in the next 6 or 8 months. And his approach of addressing it, right? He shared, pretty much, I can't beat him. I'm this size. He's that size. If you recall, when Wilson, my wife's name out of your mouth, he says, I will. It was a joke, man. I will. This is the point of where he's afraid. He's embarrassed. he get on the stage and he go in. Woman, the real names now. If you remember when he yelled, Will Smith. I loved Will Smith. I love this guy. I saw him this. I love this guy. Well, what you're not hearing is like, I loved you so much and you hurt me like this. And no one protected me. Everyone went to console Will. Denzel did. Tyler Perry did. They went to console the assailant. I got hit. I got smacked. I got hurt. I got embarrassed. And nobody protected me. Got rid of him. Nobody addressed him. Nobody played them off. Nobody put him out. He still, I mean, that's traumatic. And I, like I said before, the old school Smokey Robinson song. Look at my face and see my smile, it looks out of place. If you look, easy to trace the tracks of my tears. We miss the tracks of his tears and his genius of being a comic. Wow, what a great presentation. He really in that. I give him all of those things, but I will not duck from this person. So the whole bit of I'm not a victim, you won't see me being interviewed on Oprah and that. You don't have to claim being the victim. It's almost like saying we were slaves. Well, we were enslaved. So he's not a victim, but he was definitely victimized. And we got to respect that.
All right. Yeah, I needed you to put that in that way so that maybe, people could see a whole nother side of it, that we weren't even taking into account. But right. and I'm glad you hit me the other day, because I was like, I was thinking after we talked, I was like, yeah, because the number one conversation anytime anything happens is mental health. And that was
even still
completely.
You know what they focused on? But you know what they focused on? They focused on Will's mental health.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Focused on his mental health. Focused on Chris's mental health.
Because if you don't like Chris, you think Chris deserved it. You say Chris deserved it.
Yeah.
I mean, so the flip side to that, look at some of the great artists, scientists, painters, musicians. If we look at some of the very greatest of them all, right? They are operating out of the authenticity of their gift, right? The greatest vocalist ever in the world is Donny Hathaway. Think about all the things, other individuals that are current today, but it would be unfair to highlight some of the things they're going through. Think about some of the people who are really going through some painful times, some loss, some trauma. Back to them, in their gift or in their art, it's their very best. Right? If I think about mental health clinicians, some of the greatest mental theorists all went through a dramatic trauma. Yeah. Right? It's how they.
I was thinking Phyllis Hyman when you talk about singers. I was like, yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
And your Wi-Fi too. Your Wi-Fi is dealing with a lot. But no, but we're over time. But no, I appreciate you taking.
I got the gist of it. Yeah, I got the gist of it.
But it was.
We're gonna set out a transcript after. The show.
Yeah. And it's probably not you. It's probably me.
No.
It's probably me. No. It's definitely not you, because you got the light and everything.
Yeah, man. Because I'm one of your darker skinned.
Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. All right, all right. Hey, man,
your lighting was fine. It was nothing to do with your lighting.
We don't.
Now you're gonna disappear. Okay, now he's gone
on this show. But yeah, hey, put your information in the chat. Radical Positivity's very own Brian Bailey. Appreciate you taking a little 5 minutes out with us. We'll get back at you. And for everybody else, hey man, that's it, man. There's more to talk about. We didn't get to why are black women so lazy. We didn't get to why are black women.
You know why?
We know why.
They're not lazy. they're tired.
They're tired. Yes.
They're tired. We ask too much and they get too little. They're tired. Actually, jokes on you. Shout out to Rock Harper, who I googled. He won. He actually won his season of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a Hell's Kitchen winner.
Yeah.
I got his website up on the other screen, and the chicken looks delicious. I see some secret sauce.
Okay.
And yeah,
we'll be there shortly.
Investigate further.
Yeah, we'll be there shortly. Yeah,
it might require a further investigation.
Yeah, and finally, to close out, after everyone sees our social media and all that, and put your social media real quick. Put yours up here. I'm gonna put Dr. Clarkson up there. He was here. He came through. I seen Drunken Fruit. They was here. They came through. And then John Watson, 99. Keep the H to yourself. And
queenmothercooks.com.
Yeah, and then me myself right here. All right, and the last point is to your point. You said black women are not lazy; they're tired, and they're tired of talking so damn much. All right, so there's that. It's for the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen. It's just for the algorithm.
You're so tired of not listening.
yeah. Tired of not listening. Hold on, we got some closing remarks from Dr. G. He's at his location. Dr. G, welcome back.
What's going on? Hey, Teachers Lounge premiering this upcoming Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so what it is
give us more.
All the happy hour stories that I'm gonna tell in 4 minutes or less.
Where can this be found?
So this is gonna be found on my IG. So it'll be fun, just something to look into as far as because everyone always says, I don't believe that happened. So it's literally 4-minute stories.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna jump in on that and then have more for everybody else next time. Be safe, enjoy your weekend, and where's that? There it is, right there. All right.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad efficient.